All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for a Wednesday, April 1st. Hey, no fooling here. Let's have a great sports betting day. Let's make sure we have some luck here today on April Fool's Day. Got a lot of daytime baseball action on Wednesday, the first real, other than opening day, of first hardcore day of matinee action, getaway day here as we wrap up some series and move on here this week on a Wednesday. We also have big NBA slate, 3 games on the ice tonight, and 2 games in the college basketball crown here in Las Vegas. Hey, we need a little college basketball in our lives here to get ready for the Final Four here this weekend. So hope you had a great sports betting day. I was up and down for sure here on the site today. 3 wins, 4 losses. Going to have to get it going here on Wednesday. Going to have to be ready for the weekend. And thank you for joining me here on the show. We'll recap a little of the action, let people file in here for the previews of the games on Wednesday. But we did have some winners and results I want to talk about here from Tuesday night's action. Start here with Major League Baseball here on a Tuesday. We did have some winners here on Night Moves last night, and also some premium winners over at Tony'sPicks.com. Did bring home here a winner on Night Moves last night with the Texas Rangers in their win over the Orioles 8-5. The first 3 hitters in the Texas order had some hits for sure. They were knocking it in and also scoring some runs. They did the job there. Corey Seager, Danny Jansen, Ezekiel Duran homered for the Rangers. Zach Eflin did leave the game in the 4th inning with a sore elbow there. Not good as the Rangers win it 8-5 there on the road over the Baltimore Orioles. Also, Night Moves winner, Boston and Houston game to go over in a rout there. In that one, it was big time runs there. Houston was smashing in that game. The Red Sox really didn't have much for him. Yordan Alvarez, home run, RBI double as well for Houston. No one has a better average in the history of baseball against the Boston Red Sox than Yordan Alvarez, the greatest hitter against the Red Sox ever. Ever. Yordan Alvarez, he dominates against the Red Sox there. Well, at least we had the over there in that one. Also, we had the under in the game between the Yankees and Seattle there on Tuesday. It did go under there with that game out on the West Coast as the Yankees were able to get the win there, shutout win 5-0 behind Max Fried there in that one, as Giancarlo Stanton had an RBI single and an RBI double for the offense there for the Yankees in the shutout win over Seattle on Tuesday. Also, Night Moves winner here with the Toronto Blue Jays there against the Colorado Rockies with Scherzer. We did lay the run line there in that one as they were able to pick up a 5-1 victory in that one, as Scherzer looked pretty good. Not going to give on him too much here. He did do the job there, and the offense did the job as well in the 5-1 victory there for the Blue Jays. Scherzer, 6 innings, 1 run. That'll work. Also here we had the under in the game between the Angels and the Cubs there on Tuesday, 2-0. Angels did it. Jose Soriano, 5 innings, no runs, 2 hits. Logan O'Hoppe, 2-run single. That's all they needed. We said the wind was blowing in, and it was 2-0 there. Angels got the only 2 runs they needed in that one to get the win. All right, we also had a premium pick winner with the Arizona Diamondbacks there late night. We did have the over on Night Move, so we had a good game there in that one. Arizona won it 7-5. That was our only premium winner in the major leagues. I went with Seattle and also had the Cubs in those losses. So, but Arizona did get it done for us as they were able to beat Detroit there 7-5. Rookie Jose Fernandez hit 2 home runs in his MLB debut. Arizona scored 6 runs in the 8th inning. They were trailing 5-1. So Detroit had all 6 of its hits in a 5-run 3rd inning. That was it, as Arizona got the win at home, and I had a premium pick winner in that one. And also, late night, did have the Dodgers here on the run line last night here on Night Moves. The Dodgers were able to pretty much rock their 4-1 over Cleveland. We also had the under on the drive-through yesterday evening, so we had that game zeroed in. Who didn't? Shohei Ohtani allowed 1 hit in 6 shutout innings for the Dodgers. Max Muncy homered, and the Dodgers are at 4-1 here to start the season, as Andy Pages also had an RBI single in that one. We'll preview those games. And this is despite the fact that the Dodgers with the Ohtani, Freeman, and Tucker are hitting below 200 combined. But doesn't matter when you got that kind of pitching there. They were able to do it there. All right, and there were some other games that I didn't have some winners on, but I thought were of note. Of course, the Giants beat the Padres 9-3. Willie Adames 4 for 5, a home run, 2 RBIs, and led off the game with a home run. Jung Ho Lee 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. The Padres are 1-4 to start the season here. A's over the Braves. Shea Langoliers, the guy that I have all my prediction. One of those sites where you pick player, and if they do good in their career, you got your. I put all my money in on Shea Langoliers 3 years ago. Hopefully, he's starting to pay off right now. There, he had a big 4th home run of the season. He's been crushing it here. The relievers didn't allow a run. Savali got the A's first win in 5 games this year in that one. Marlins over the White Sox. Liam Hicks homered for the 4-1 Marlins. Miami's bullpen did the job. 14 outs, no hits. And how about Xavier Edwards of the Marlins? He's batting .421 to start the season. Also got a note. Phillies and the Nationals, 3-2 Phillies with the win. Andrew Painter struck out 8 in 5 1/3 innings in his major league debut last night for the win. Schwarber Garcia homer for the Phillies. The Phillies top of the order isn't hitting very well either, but they did get that win yesterday, 3-2, holding off the Nationals. All right, let's say hello to some folks in the chat. I know there were a couple games in there as well. The Braves lost to the A's. Jack Wilson, 2 RBI double. Brewers over Tampa Bay. Brandon Woodruff, 5 innings, 2 runs in his first start of the season. Mets lost to the Cardinals. Ramon Urias, home run for St. Louis there in that one. I think that's all the finals there. I think covered something at least on every game. We say hello to the folks in the chat as we get ready for the show here on Night Moves. And it's going to be West Up Parlay. It says Dodgers, Lakers, Luka, Ohtani. Life is good when you're in L.A. Moon Man, he's here, ready to go, and he says he's ready. He's ready to go. We need to get him early because the games are starting early down under, and we're already on the air after the game's already started. West Up is cashing there with those, and got my money on my mind. He says hello to Tim in the chat. Let's see, Mr. Wesker's joining us here today as well. This evening. And let's see here, James Kelly there. He took the Blue Jays there on the money line in that game against the Rockies. Man, the poor Rockies there. Dodgers also, man, confident win there for those Dodgers. Max Muncy went deep, of course. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. And I think we covered everybody in the chat so far. Oh, Fish Den's here. Fish Den's here. Yeah, Fish Den, by the time I get rolling around, getting on the air, I'm not trying to keep you guys. I just want to have a good show, and I try to get all the information I can together. And, I'm usually pretty rushed. I'm a rushed guy, always trying to get the best get the best show, gets the best stuff on the air. I don't know, should be worth the effort. Just get on the air. All right, AOD. And let me just real quick here. I'm going to get in the NBA segment right now with AOD, and I know why he is so celebrating here right now. No doubt about it. The Detroit Pistons. Let's lead with the Detroit Pistons here. They win their first division title in 18 years last night, wrapping it up in the game against the Toronto Raptors. Great job by Detroit. Monumental season here right now for the Pistons as they wrap up the division title there last night. Congratulations, AOD and the Pistons fans there. We cover some of the games from last night and see if we had any winners here on the show anyway. Try to pick some winners. I don't know if we had as many as I would have liked, but we did have a few here. We had the Knicks and the Rockets game to go under as the Rockets were able to get the win 111-94. Houston was 15 of 35 from three-point range, got the win there over the Knicks. And also here, night moves winner, Milwaukee Bucks getting the win over the Mavs 123-99. The Mavs can't get out of their own way. We had the Bucks here on the show. Remember, we didn't want to preview the game. I was like, what are we doing previewing this game? I needed that win last night with the Bucks. Didn't have a bunch of winners. We did have the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Lakers game to go over. Luka, 42 points, 12 assists for the Lakers there, giving us a winner in that one. And that was really it for the winners for me on the show. Some other finals in there were Magic over the Suns. I had the under in that one, just snuck over 115-111. Jalen Suggs, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Magic edged the Suns. They got the money too, and they're in that one. And Hornets crushed the Nets 117-86. They're in the playoffs officially here as the Hornets got that win. I should have mentioned that one, right? I think I skipped that one. That was a double winner, actually. We had the Hornets here on Night Moves last night in the victory, 117-86 as they crushed Brooklyn, and that was our winner over at Tony's Picks as we had the under in that game and did go well under the 219.5 with 203 points. So, all right, I think that was it there in the NBA. NHL Night Move winners, we struggled early but closed strong. Still not a great day. Didn't sweep the board here, didn't crush like we did those a couple of nights here. We kind of cooled down a little bit. The Bruins, though, did get the win over the Stars. That was our Night Moves winner here last night. It's the Bruins were able to get that win 6-3. They crushed the Stars there. Yeah, like I said, trying to find the winners here on Night Moves last night, but we did get them kind of late there at a winner, a premium pick over at Tony's Picks with the Washington Capitals over the Philadelphia Flyers as they cleaned them out 6-4. Also, Night Moves winner Carolina Hurricanes over Columbus 5-2. Night Moves winner Winnipeg in overtime over the Blackhawks 4-3. We did lay a little bit of a price on the road there, but that's okay. And then we had the Edmonton Oilers on the puck line over Seattle, 3-0 win. Edmonton, gosh, man, get a lot of credit here for Edmonton after losing Draisaitl. They've been almost, I don't want to say they've been better than, because that would be very disrespectful, but they've shown a lot of heart. They have played better. It's such a short sample. You really can't say it like they played better, but they have played very well without Draisaitl in the lineup. They've really checked it up and looked really good here over the last week or two since he's been out of the lineup and out for the season, obviously. So just 3 games on the ice on Wednesday night. We'll look at those here and previewing all the games tonight except for one in the NBA that got kicked to the curb. But let's get back to it and let's get started here, I think, with our show. A lot of day games here, so we're going to be previewing day games in Major League Baseball. Hope you're ready to get up and at them here early on Wednesday. I left that Detroit basketball up there the whole time with the AOD so he could do a victory lap here. Let me see who else was talking here. Mr. West Coast had Portland moneyline parlay, and let's see here. Anybody else going on here? Just the crew. I'm just going through, make sure everybody's here, make sure I don't miss anybody new. LALB, he's not new, but he's here for the first time tonight in there. Is talking about his record over there. LALB hanging out in some chat rooms across YouTube. And I think that might be it right now. They've got to get started with the show here on Night Moves for Wednesday. Want to be able to at least tell what day it is here. We know maybe we shouldn't, right? Maybe we shouldn't here for our April Fool's show. We don't want to have a losing day on the April Fool's show. But all right, let's get started. We got to get started here with the show, and we got Major League Baseball here for the action on Wednesday. Let's get it started, shall we? Top of the board here. Make sure I got the right order tonight, right? In chronological order here a little bit. All right, I'm ready. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Here we go. All right, the Athletics are going to take on the Braves, and I don't know who Salera is, but I think Sale is pitching here for the Braves. Boy, we couldn't even get the first graphic up there before we had a problem there. Oh, you know what? Guys, let me. I hope my boss doesn't get mad here. Let me forgive me here. Let me go over to Tony'sPicks.com. That's the reason I'm here, is to talk about our website, you guys. I'm sorry about that. We'll get the previews going in just a second, but let me go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. I mean, come on, I'm here for one reason, and that's to promote our website and to talk to you guys. But I want to share with you everybody who is hot here on the site. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out our premium picks. Our best bets are over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see me on a lot of shows and a lot of across the YouTube here, but this is where I always start. And we had some cappers, a pretty good day here. David Racy 5-3. Ron Hahn won his only play. Nick Lagaretto's 2-1 yesterday. Ron Crawford 2-1, and Double Shooty was in the green. A little bit of a slow day here for the crew, but we'll pick it up here on Wednesday. Tony T's not going slow. He's been hot here over the last week and more, but he was 14-3 here for the last week. 10.5 units. David Racy up 10.25 units here so far over the last 7 days. Also, you got Ron Hahn up there over 8 units. 10-2 record for Ron. Nick Lagaretto showing a great record too. Nearly 6.5 units. Double Shooty up there over 4 units last 30 days. Shane Mickle up 15.5 units. Brian Bittler up 14.3 units. Bo Dunn's up 9 units. Tony T, he's rolling the blazing sevens down there, 777, and Nick Lagaretto's in the green over the last 30 days. Click on the Premium Picks tab. That's where you'll find all of the packages from our cappers here on Wednesday. We got some guys lined up, ready to go. David Racy's got his Wednesday afternoon MLB total ready to go. Also, with our matinees here, everybody's ready to go with the day games, and including Chris. He's got NBA Slam Dunk, actually, for the evening action there. And also, I think that's it from the handicappers who are ready to go with some packages tomorrow. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's how you can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. You can ride with me here. You see I got a lot of sports that I kind of excel in here. And check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Ride with me here. 3-day all sports pass. Get you through to the weekend. When we get to the Final Four, sign up over at Tony'sPicks.com. Grab 3 days for $99 over there at Tony's Picks. And hopefully we get those winners rolling there. I had a few there with there you see the Capitals there. Last night we had the Capitals over the Flyers. All right. That's going to do it for that one. Use promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages here on Wednesday. All right. Now I got to get to the action. Oh, my gosh. That was really rude of me. We were just about to go there in that one. So, All right, LALB. He loves a little. I love me some Pink Floyd. Also, I'm comfortably numb here right now on the show. Actually, and Richie Rich is here as well. So, oh, good. Some people showed up. So that was probably a good idea that we took another minute or two. There's Fish Den. He already had the pick. Sorry about that. I'm going to go right now. Get back to the action. Right now. Teflon to Don's here. That's great to see Teflon to Don. How you been, Teflon? All right, let me get back to it now. All right, sorry about that, you guys. But Atlanta here is taking on the Athletic. You know, when you look at Athletics and Atlanta, it almost looks like the same team. We abbreviate the Athletics, so hopefully we'll have the LV on there soon. But got Severino here going 3.6 ERA so far. Chris Sale did sail through that first game, 6 Ks, one walk, did pretty good. He's 1-0, 6 Ks and a win so far for Chris Sale. The A's got on the board there, got the win in that game there over the Atlanta Braves yesterday, 5-2. So Braves are on the board here right now with a 1-4 record. The Braves come in 3-2 following the loss, but they won the opener 4-0 in that game. So look, pretty big favorite here. There we go. Make the graphic look pretty. So you got the Sale here and Severino. So pretty good matchup here, but you're still looking at a pretty big favorite here with Atlanta coming into this one. So get ready and make your pick. What I do here in the show here is I go over the game a little bit, make my pick, and I show your picks on the screen as well. So, all right, massive Atlanta guys who are really good against Severino, Olsen, Acuna, Riley all show pretty good numbers there against Severino in his career. Sale, a little bit misleading. Some the A's bats are weak outside of a couple of guys, though, that have seen Chris Sale. The Braves bullpen so far, 1.7 ERA. The A's not bad out of the pen. 2.66, but Atlanta's probably going to have a little bit of an edge here still in this one. But let's see what you have with this matchup between the A's and the Braves. Game 3 of the set here in the middle of the week. Getaway day here with this one at 12:15 Eastern and 9:15 Pacific time. So we're up and at 'em in Major League Baseball, and I want to hear from you in the chat. Let's get your picks in this one between Severino going up against Chris Sale here. All right. And I'll go back a little bit. I might have missed some here. Let me see what we got. There was Fish Den. He is on the under and also the Nerfy here. Okay. And I saw some others here. Braves run line for Cal Dog. Mr. Wesker's a little nervous about this Braves team right now. Are they going to be, it's been a little bit of a downturn for the Braves, and, it's always good when the Braves are good, but so far the Braves are they're all under so far this season, man. 0-5 to the under so far this season. The A's are 1-4 to the under so far this season. I mean, you could try to go the other way here and try to be a contrarian about it, but Sale's out there, Severino's out there, a little day game, man, that seems like a recipe for an under. Timmy says Severino for Cy Young. Give him the A's here. Should be $3 if Sale is so good. He's not going to get the Cy Young award. If he did, what would he do with it? Let's see, Cal Dog, it's the A's. They might go on a losing streak here. Athletics aren't scoring. It's under all day. LALB's got a Nerfy in the under. And, that's going to do it, man. I just got to go back to the well here. It feels like with this under right now. I mean, I guess we'll get an over one day if you're Atlanta, but 0-5 so far for the Braves. All the games have been at home. Remember, they played the Royals there. The pitching's been good for the Braves. I think you gotta. I think that's one factor you've got to look at here. All right, it seems easy. Just going to take the under here in this one. Why not? I mean, I'm. I am Mr. Under here. All right. I'll just take the under. Next up, I got to tell you guys, I'm not even going to do it because I've got a typo again on the Orioles. I would have showed it on the screen. It just would have been embarrassing to have back-to-back typos. So here we go. Man, didn't. Rangers and Orioles Major League Baseball action here for a Wednesday on Getaway Day here, 12:35 Eastern, 9:35 Pacific. The Rangers come in on a 4-game winning streak here. Nathan Eovaldi, 9.6 ERA, 0-1 record so far for Trevor Rogers here. He was strong in his first start of the season coming in for Rogers. No ERA, a 1.0 whip, 5 strikeouts in that season opener, and he looked good for the Orioles here. Actually, the line here, $1.20, just come out here, kind of the late line here a little bit. I'm just writing it in here. Every game had a line except for this one, I think. So you got the Orioles here, $1.20. Orioles have lost 2 in a row coming into this one to the Rangers here. Rangers won so far 8-5 on Tuesday, and they won Monday's game 5-2. Did the Rangers. So they've come in here to Baltimore, kept it going right now, improving to 4-1 so far this season. The Orioles are now 2-3 coming into the campaign here. See what you guys have here with this one, and so far Baltimore 1-3 to the under as a favorite, but the Rangers are 3-1 to the over so far this season. So let's see what you guys have here in this one between the Rangers and the Orioles here today. I want to hear from you in the chat and get your pick on this one. All right. Oops, sorry about that. For the Orioles here, they do have some, or for the Rangers here, let's see, they do have a few hitters trending well in this one against Eovaldi, and also for Baltimore, you got Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Colton Cowser, all with some pretty good numbers against against Nathan Eovaldi. So Eovaldi maybe not great against this lineup here. Could be an environment for some runs today. Baltimore's bullpen, 5.4 ERA, kind of in the middle, but the one thing Texas has going, man, Texas bullpen, usually somewhat of a trouble spot sometimes, but so far, 1.33 ERA for Texas. So, yeah, they might have that late game edge here in this one on Wednesday. I think both starters could be vulnerable. We might see some early runs. Orioles lineup, dangerous versus left-handed pitching here right now. So, man, let's see what you guys have in the chat in this one with Eovaldi against the left-hander Rogers. Like I said, I'm just punching this number in because not every book has this number out right now, and I just saw it for the first time as I was getting ready for the show. Actually, this one I said was late to market, so Texas bullpen dominance could be the actual separator in this game. Maybe the first five could be kind of an Orioles game, and full game could be Rangers. Actually, I don't usually break it down like that, but just looking at these numbers like this, you got this Orioles lineup right now. They are, you know, I don't want to say bottom of the barrel so far. They certainly should be better, but it's not necessarily a great matchup here for this Orioles lineup against Eovaldi. I mean, they're really down there, and I don't see really anybody in this lineup that has a decent matchup. Yes, there is some BVP here a little bit for Baltimore. Also a tough matchup, though, also for the Rangers lineup. Not as tough as the Orioles lineup against the Rangers here, but let me hear from you in the chat. Maybe I need to have some advice from the crew on this one with the Rangers taking on Baltimore here. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the chat in this one. I think the difference may show up late in that bullpen. Let's see what you got here in the chat. And Mr. Weskers, he loves the day games. I used to love the day games. You know, as a kid, I'd sneak the radio, and it was different back in the day, right? I mean, nowadays you can kind of sneak a radio. I don't know. I used to have a little transistor radio with the diaphragm, we'll call it diaphragm earplug, and I'd sit in class and listen to the baseball game, and hopefully the teacher didn't catch me. I'd purposely sit in the back and listen to baseball. And you know what? In life, that was I probably got more out of life doing that, more awareness of the world and education out of listening to baseball, right? All right, here we go. Rangers run line for Mr. Weskers. And Cal Dog likes the Rangers on the money line. And Mr. Weskers says Eovaldi, it gives Texas a true ace here. Eovaldi, Orioles team total over there. Rangers for LALV. And Rogers faced the Twins, not the Phillies, says Fishden. And let's see, no Fishden passing here. Looks like LALB's on the over. Teflon to Don, he says Camille Rocker is going to be in there. I think that was the case. Like I said, I'm starting to see this pitching matchup now. So I agree with you, though. I saw that Camille Rocker was scheduled to be in there. Let me see if I can at least get a little bit of information on that. Like I said, that might be the reason why we're seeing this line not totally available, I think, at every book here right now. So good point right there in that one with Rocker possibly going here in this one. Let me see what we can track down here a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have to wait a little while longer. Rocker not ready to go yet. Eovaldi has been announced officially as a starter, and that's why I think we're seeing this right now. Rocker may be available in the bullpen, actually. He was supposed to start, but they've made this move here right now. So thanks for pointing that out, though, because I do remember seeing that. Thank you, Teflon. He likes the under, though, if that is indeed the case. And Fishden says, day games seem to go under. And AOD, yeah, AOD, because, we didn't have as much sports. I would actually get up a little bit early and go the opposite direction of school. I'd ride my bike down to get USA Today because we take it for granted now, whatever. Nobody even knows what USA Today is hardly anymore, but it was just the most spectacular sports page, with all the stats, color pictures in a newspaper. Who'd have thunk it? And also later on, another publication which was awesome, a week daily, but it only lasted for a couple of years. If that was the National, it was a sports page, a national sports page that came out daily. I used to love that, but that was back in the day, and we were talking. We were gambling on the playground. Cal Dog says, "I'll never forget picking up a preseason NFL magazine called Game Plan, and they had a way to do power ratings. But I was just I didn't know about betting, but they had power ratings, and you'd update the power ratings out of the Game Plan magazine, and it was an NFL style, and it would teach you how to adjust your power rankings. It would it was pretty basic back in the day. This was probably in the early '80s, and it would say like, oh, if you figure out the prediction using an offensive rating and a defensive rating, and if the team won by an extra like 1 to 4 points, you'd give an extra point on offense or another point on defense, and you'd manage the ratings, and that was kind of a precursor, an introduction to handicapping for me, actually. Very interesting you mentioned that, Cal Dog. All right. So, yeah, we got the old guy chat in here. Okay, hey, I got to make my pick here in this one, you guys, right? You guys made your picks here, basically, in the game here between Rangers and Baltimore here. Hey, like I said, so far, definitely a great run here by the Rangers right now to be 4-1. Baltimore, like I said, 1-3 as a favorite here in this one, but the Rangers on a roll here on the road right now. And in this one, oh, pardon me. But let me do it real quick here again. Like I said, I also show Rocker on a few, but what I did was I did a little search there, and the Rangers did announce about I guess after the game that Baldy would start. So I'm just punching it in here real quick. Make sure I get my correct play here because I actually had Rocker in there as well, actually. So all right. And I'm going to take here the Rangers in this one on the road. Give me the Rangers here at even money to keep it going, man. Are they going to sweep them? Okay, I'll take them. Yep. And then Mr. Weskers, one time, and I love getting the sports page, but you know what? Mom wasn't too hip on getting the subscription, the paper delivered. She didn't think it was a great value. That's why I had to go buy it myself. But I must say, I have to admit, I may have stolen the sports page a time or two from someone's porch. Oh, man, shame on me. And then the paper boy caught me one time. He said, I wondered who was stealing those newspapers. It was me the whole time. So what did he do? He said, you know what? I need a backup paper boy. You can have a free paper every day if you come be the backup paper boy. So I did. Okay. Here we go. Next up. Daytime action here with the Pirates taking on the Reds. And look at this pitching matchup, huh? Great pitching matchup for getaway day here in Cincinnati. With the Pirates and Paul Skeens, they're 2-3 coming in. The Reds are 3-2 right now, but the Pirates won yesterday in that one by the score of 8-3 to take Game 2, the rubber match here on Wednesday. Pirates are 1-0 as a favorite so far this season. Reds coming in here with Andrew Abbott in this one. Good matchup here. You got Skeens, he does have the 67 ERA so far. I'm going to say his ERA will be lowered here no matter what happens. We had the rough outing. What can you say? But Abbott didn't. Abbott so far, very strong. No runs allowed, 1.33 whip, 4 strikeouts in his debut game here. So let's see what you think with this one here today with the Pirates taking on the Reds in a terrific pitching matchup here on getaway day in this one. Uh, Skeens definitely has some of these guys under wraps in the Reds lineup. Marte, Benson, Stewart. Skeens has pretty much dominated those guys. The Reds have some good hitters, but Skeens, he's going to limit that contact. Both bullpens have been pretty solid here so far. Still a big price with the Pirates on the road here, $1.65 against a guy like Abbott, the left-hander. He's no Paul Skeens, but he's definitely a very strong pitcher, man, here. And you got to think pitcher's duel here, you guys. I'm sure of it. I don't want to take under on every game right now, but I got to maybe consider it here. Both teams are 2-3 to the under so far this season. The Pirates are 1-0 as a favorite so far. Let's see how you guys have it, though, in this one with Skeens taking on Abbott here. I'm tempted just to go under, but the Reds on the run line isn't an awful suggestion either here, just because to me it just, Abbott's definitely a credible enough pitcher here that he could hang here against Skeens. Look, Skeens, that was, I think there was a little bit of the World Baseball Classic stuff there, a little bit. Skeens really was all hitched up in those games, and then comes in there in the first game, got the defense let him down, and then he had to come out of the game. He couldn't really even finish the inning because because of the innings that he threw at the World Baseball Classic. You'd think normally you'd just keep your ace in there. He can get out of it, pitch him several innings, keep him in the game, but he just couldn't in that start because of all the work that he had prior at the World Baseball Classic. So, okay, let's hear from you in the chat here, but might be on the under, but let's see what you got. Kind of like these Reds here, but okay, here we go. All right, Nerfy in first 5 under for LALV. And Reds here money line because Mr. Westerns likes Abbott too. We've been on Abbott here for 3 years, it seems like, right? We called him Awesome Abbott back in the day. Jimmy Choo Shoes likes the under here. Mr. Wesker's on a Nerfy. Also here, under for Fish Den. O'Neill Cruz had another bad night tonight in that game. Good thing he can hit because he almost blew it again with his defense. First 5 under, and Skeens. There's no doubt, we make the excuse for him for those 2 plays that O'Neill Cruz made, but he was having trouble. Guys were getting on base, and that's what put him in position when that ball went over O'Neill Cruz's head there the first time. I mean, it was on Skeens there in the beginning. Yes, O'Neill was the one who made the big error and let all those runs score, but he was filling up the bases, putting himself in a bit of a jam. Even before that, I think he had gotten a visit. So, okay, let's see, though, what you got here. Man, I do like this under a lot in this game, but I like what you guys say. I'm gonna take Abbott here on the run line to hang in here. It's not a terrible price at all. In fact, I gotta like it. Yeah, maybe you just want to take the Reds out right here, but at plus 1.5 minus 120, give me the Reds here on the run line, but I'm going to be on the under somewhere out there. The Washington Nationals take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Major League action here for a Wednesday. The Phillies are 260 here in this matchup against Washington. Washington's 3-2. The bats are looking pretty good. Cavalli, 4.9 ERA so far. No record to show for it. Sanchez, pretty terrific in the opener. .5 whip, 10 strikeouts. He's 1-0 and looked terrific here for the Phillies, but still 260. This Nationals team's hit pretty well so far. Obviously, this one's going to be a little tougher. Sanchez is trending strong, no doubt about it. The Nationals lineup has been probably overperforming to a certain, but you're not going to knock them here at this point as long as you can get it done and get these wins right now. As the Phillies did win yesterday, 3-2. Nationals won the opener, 13-2. Nationals, like I said, they're 3-2 coming in. The Phillies are 2-3. Phillies are 3-1-1 to the over so far. Washington 3-2 to the over. So yeah, we've seen runs from these teams. Look, I think Cavalli, has some things going for him here, but man, Sanchez so good. Just such a rough price. Probably still want to roll with the Phillies, but probably wouldn't do it in anything other than a free pick here in this one. But let me see how you guys have it here with this one. I'll go to the chat right away. Okay, here we go. Phillies run line for Mr. Weskers. Fished in, though, Nationals first 5. Same for LALV. Likes the Nats in the first 5, but the Phillies in the full game. So basically, man, you like Sanchez to kind of maybe not have not live up to what he's done so far, but have the bullpen kind of come through a little bit. And AOD maybe on the Nats here. And Cal Dog likes the over. Timmy says there's some about this Nats team. You got a guy like Wood in there. He hasn't looked great so far, but it looked like he picked it up there. He's got a home run. Weimer's got 2 home runs. He's been incredible so far. I don't think he's going to hit 800, but he's got some big numbers so far this week. House is okay as well. Lyle, these guys are hitting to start the season there, the top of the lineup. Anyway, is hitting here, but man, Sanchez has been he was so dominant, and I do think here I'm probably going to go with the Phillies on the run line here. I don't think it would make a premium at all, but I'm going to go ahead and take him in this one. I like what the Nats have done too. To me, Sanchez so far, look, he'll get wear down a little bit. There'll be times maybe to look against him or at least not want to take him here on a strong run line, but I'm going to do it today. I'm going to go with Sanchez on getaway day in this one coming in so far. 6 innings, 3 hits in that opening game performance. Yes, the Phillies lineup really struggling here. Only a couple guys really doing much so far. Stott hitting well so far. Marsh hitting well. And that's really it. The bottom lineup also doing pretty well. But Turner, Schwarber, Harper, we mentioned in the intro, Bohm, they really are not getting going here. They better do it today. I'm going to go ahead and take the Phillies in this one. A little bit square, but really just impressed right now with Sanchez. We'll look for some spots against him, but not in the opening week of the season when the guys are strong early. That's when they're the strongest. There'll be other time you're in travel and whatnot. Give me the Phillies. Run line. Colorado Rockies and Toronto Blue Jays. You got Freeland here going for the Rockies in this one up against Kevin Gausman. For Freeland here, 4.15 ERA and 0-1 record for Gausman here, 1.5 ERA, no record to show so far. 270 here for the Blue Jays in this one, and you are dealing with the Rockies here, but I mean, Rockies, come on. They won the first one, 14-5. Did lose yesterday, 5-1. Rockies 1-4 so far this season. The Toronto Blue Jays come in here 4-1. Definitely look like one of the best teams in the league so far, particularly offensively. Um, no beating around the bush here right now with that Toronto offense here looking pretty good so far. So talk about this one a little bit here. You got Colorado on the road and their bullpen 5.14 ERA so far. That's about usually where Colorado is midway through the season, maybe even a little higher in the bullpen. Toronto offense heating up, strong top end bats here. Yeah, maybe they haven't been overwhelming, but they've been good enough for sure. Some of these guys, Blatty looking good. Okamoto, what can you say about Okamoto so far? Doing well. Also, Ernie Clement and Miles Straw, Andres Jimenez at the bottom, looking pretty good. You still got to pick it up a little bit with Springer, with Alejandro Kirk, but Kevin Gausman. There are some guys on this Rockies lineup that's got some success against him, but again, this Toronto offense right now really poised here. I might be laying some run lines here. That's all I can do here. This one too with Toronto against Colorado. You can find a way to get cute here with Colorado, but I just can't right now. And I'm going to lay the Blue Jays here on the run line at -1.5 at minus $1.30 at this point. Rockies so far, a couple guys. Okay, we've been talking about Hunter Goodman. I mean, they got a good one here in Goodman. Ezekiel Tovar also, Rumfield looking good, but other than that, I don't know. Karros is an interesting prospect there, batting at the bottom of the lineup, the son of the major leaguer. But also, McCarthy, what's going on? Castro, not good. Beck here. Brenton Doyle should be better. So I'm going to go ahead and take a run line here with Toronto. Might be too easy, but let's see what you got in the chat. Look, I mean, some favorites are going to win. Here we go. Springer for an RBI for Timmy. Gausman 6+ Ks, says LALB. Cal Dogs on the over here. Gausman, just a .17 whip in that first game, 11 strikeouts, 1 hit, no walks. He was dominant in that game. Fish Den says Colorado +1.5 there. Wants to consider the dog. And for Freeland, he went just 4 1/3 innings there in the opener, gave up 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 hits. Not great. So I'm just going to have to take the Blue Jays here in this one on the run line. All right, these are still matinee day games here. We're early, 1:10 Eastern, 10:10 Pacific. You've got the White Sox here taking on the Marlins, still looking good. Yeah, the White Sox were able to get that first game of the series, but Toronto came back yesterday with the win, 9-2. Or Miami came back with the win, 9-2 to get that one. All those first wins for Miami were 1-run games, where they were able to pummel them here. This one, they're actually just so far 1-4 on the run line, but 4-1 straight up. White Sox coming here 1-4 straight up, 1-4 on the run line in this one. White Sox are 4-1 to the over so far. Miami 2-3 to the under for the White Sox here. They got Shane Smith, not good in his opener, 16.2 ERA, but Sandy was great. We've got vintage Sandy in that first game. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, not even earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts for Sandy in that opening game. So pretty good job there. Probably will not keep that up given what we've seen from Sandy over the last season and a half or so. But I don't know. This one, yes, 9 runs yesterday for Miami, but like I said, they are 2-3 to the under. I think Sandy's probably going to have a pretty good outing actually here in this one. Let's see what you guys have to say with the White Sox taking on the Marlins. The White Sox bullpen has been pretty bad. 10.45 ERA, 2.27 WHIP. Meanwhile, Miami, a 0.51 ERA. So low total here. It's justified. Miami could dominate here with Sandy and that bullpen coming into this one. It does feel like under is a kind of a strong play, and I want to go with the under here in this one. Yeah, Sandy's a dollar. What is it? $1.50 there. Yeah, $1.50 on the screen. Yeah, probably could do. I don't know if it's coming back. Let me see how the move has gone so far. Yeah, the move has been on the White Sox, so let's let it marinate a little bit. I don't know if it can get much lower, really, but Miami's been looking pretty okay. You got to admit, so far this season. Yeah, they played Colorado on the White Sox, but you play who you play, and you got to beat those guys. And Miami is doing it so far. So credit to them. Let's see what you got here. Freeland under his outs for LALB. Cal Dogs on the Marlins here. LALB also going to take the Marlins on the first 5 in this one. Mets and Cardinals here on getaway day. And you got the Cards here with Matthew Liberatore, the left-hander, going up against Freddie Peralta in this one. So, okay, good matchup here with the Mets coming into this one. 3-2 right now. Cardinals are able to get that win there yesterday over the Mets. Beat them 3-0 in a shutout there, as mentioned. For the Mets here, they are 1-1 so far on the road. Mets are 1-4 to the under so far, including 0-2 to the under on the road. St. Louis comes in 3-2 to the over so far in this one for Freddie Peralta. 7.2 ERA, but he did win that first game of the season. For Matthew Liberatore, 1.8 ERA, did not register a decision in his first game of the season. Let's see how you guys have this one, though, between the Cardinals and the Mets. With the Cardinals at home here, pretty sizable underdog against these Mets. The Mets are definitely the better team, but at home here, the Cardinals not. It's been a disappointing run for the Cardinals over the last couple of seasons. Not what we're used to. The Mets get all that money. They're supposed to be able to produce. The Mets bullpen has been pretty good so far, 2.25 ERA. Meanwhile, St. Louis, 6.43 ERA, a little bit vulnerable for sure. Maybe we could see some scoring here in this one. I might be looking for an over somewhere. I don't know if this is going to be it, but we maybe late the runs could come in. Still want to consider the under right now. I think Freddie should be much better in this game against the Cardinals here. Let's see what you have here. Unders have been a little bit of a story here in the major leagues too. And that's good news for me. But let's see what you've got in the chat. Man, we got 4 dozen of you in here right now talking baseball with me. Please comment in the chat if you'd like. Okay, here we go. Mets here for LALB. Timmy's going to go over in this one. Cal Dog's got the Mets on the run line here. And maybe I'm the Undertaker. Look, so far, Soto. I don't know. Mr. Westers gets on him, but so far, you got to think that Soto. These are pretty good numbers here so far. Frankie Lindor, though, struggling. Bo Bichette, yeah, he got booed at home. Did come through on the road that first game. He's still not really looking that great. Luis Robert, pretty good. Polanco could use some work. Semien might be, on the downside for sure. for the Cardinals here so far. Weatherholt has been terrific. Uh, we'll see how Weatherholt holds up through the through the spring here. Herrera not looking good. Burleson though doing well. Mason Wynn, not great. Gorman pretty good. Walker's been hot. Okay, here let's see. Fish Den's on the Mets here on the run line. Peralta for 5Ks, says LALB back in that for the Mets here. Jimmy says when it's overcast, and I finally got burned a little bit there. I thought the weather would kind of keep the runs coming here right now, but it hasn't totally. And are expecting showers here also on Wednesday in this game. About a 50% chance of rain here throughout the contest. There is a chance this game could even see postponement. 20% chance according to the AccuWeather Sports here. So, all right, let's see though. Well, here in this one, I'm going to go with the under in the Mets and the Cardinals. Give me the under here. I might be interested though in that run line with the home team again. Okay, next up. Rays and Brewers here on Wednesday with this is a good pitching matchup. You got Rasmussen here going for Tampa Bay. Looked good in his first game of the season. Didn't get a victory, but 1.8 ERA. Same for Jacob Mizorowski, 1.8 ERA. Of course, he won his first game of the season, but Milwaukee's been stronger so far. They're 4-1. Tampa Bay just 2-3. Tampa Bay 1-1 so far as an underdog. Tampa's 4-1 to the over so far this season because of those bats. I told you I've been loving the bats of the Rays. They're not winning them all, but Milwaukee also 3-2 to the over. Tampa just 1-1 over under as an underdog here so far, but both bullpens have been a little bit shaky early, but Milwaukee's has the more explosive offense so far this season. I think the low total reflects the pitching, maybe a slight lean to the under due to what we've seen so far from Milwaukee. But like I said, Tampa is certainly producing. It's just that they're going up against Mizorowski here, and pretty good matchup there for sure. I would think here for Milwaukee here, but let's see how you have it in this one with Tampa here and Milwaukee. It almost seems manageable. As good as Tampa Bay has been, the Milwaukee bats have been good enough here that $1.40 might be okay for me. Terang looking good. Yelich has been hot. Bauer's strong so far. Ortiz has been good down there at the bottom of the lineup, and Lockridge as well for Tampa Bay. Yandy Diaz is one of the hottest hitters in the league. Aranda, they've put together a great start at the top of this lineup. Caminero also. Simpson also pretty good numbers so far. So let's see, though, how you have it in this one with Tampa and Milwaukee. I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers here, by the way, at minus $1.40 or so. As I think I have $1.40 on the screen there, but maybe it's a little higher here at a few books. Bovada's up to $1.52. Circa's at $1.36. So we'll see where it lands. But I'm going to go with Milwaukee in this one as a favorite at home. Let's go to the chat. And I think Timmy wants to go over here. LALB, Brewers and over. Cal Dog on the over. He says one of these guys might not make it to the fourth inning. Was Mizorowski, is he going to, burn himself out a little bit? Is that what it is? He had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings in his first outing, 2 hits, only 1 earned run and 3 walks. Meanwhile, for Rasmussen, 5 innings, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run, also no walks. So this is a good starting pitching matchup for sure. And Timmy says doesn't it take Rasmussen a bit to put it together? Same for Jacob. I don't know. These guys so far so good, but first game out of the blocks anyway, huh? I'll take the Brewers here in this one. Okay, the Red Sox are at the Astros here, and the Astros are hot, and the Red Sox are not, and the Astros smashed them yesterday. The Astros smash. Did anybody play that video game as a kid? I think it was on in television. It was like their version of what was that one where you'd have the ship and it would asteroids where it shoot all the rocks, and then they had Astro Smash. I'm such a kid. Okay, Garrett Crochet, $1.50 here on the road. 4-game losing streak. The win was Garrett Crochet. Remember, Garrett Crochet won his opener in a shutout. Looked very strong. For the Astros here, Burrows, 7.94 ERA in his first outing of the season, but Astros here 4-2, 1-0 as an underdog. Boston just 1-3 as a favorite coming in. So far, Houston 4-2 to the over, 1-0 to the over as an underdog. Boston 3-2 to the over so far this season. And see what you think here with these two coming in. And Garrett Crochet, was terrific, no doubt about it. And I would think we're looking at two pitchers that might be dealing here again. 2:10 Eastern, 11:10 Pacific, with Crochet on the road. Could be a little bit of a value spot here with Houston, as good as Crochet has been. Boston, 4.74 ERA, the bullpen. And they've been having some home run issues as well. So, Crochet can only go for so long. The Houston lineup does have some power so far this year in the home run department. They've looked pretty decent with some of these guys. Altuve has a couple of home runs, and Alvarez a couple of home runs as well. So they've been able to produce those runs, and maybe we could see the Astros here as an underdog today against Crochet. The run line not too bad here at a minus $1.40. Love what Crochet is doing here, but can he spin again on the road in this one? Let's go to the chat here. I'd probably just take the under again and call it a day, but got to have a few sides in there. Let's see what's going on. Okay, LALB says the Pitfall gang. That game, Pitfall, yeah, Pitfall. I got that one. That was like a little bit of Donkey Kong-esque, right? Because I think Pitfall, you were jumping and trying to not fall in the alligator pit or something like that. Timmy says low totals for dome games, and Timmy says maybe the Red Sox get to Burrows. You'd think this offense could get going here for Boston right now. Roman Anthony, 235 early on. Trevor Story not really doing anything. Duran, nothing. Contreras, nothing. Only Abreu, really, and Narvaez are the only guys really producing much. Also, my man Marcelo Mayer, but let's see how long he can keep it up. LALB, first 5 under. And Crochet always going deep here, though. Timmy Chushu also first 5 under there. For Houston here right now, Altuve, like I said, not only the home runs, but he's hitting over 400. Jordan crushes this team right now, but how will it be when Jordan here is up against Garrett Crochet? But still, like I said in the intro, Jordan does have the highest batting, the best stats of any batter in the history of the Astros when going up against the Red Sox. Go ahead and give me the Astros here against Crochet. I'll try it with Houston here, plus 1.5 at minus $1.40. I'll try the Astros. All right, Richie Rich, maybe Houston over on their team total here, maybe. Jimmy Two Shoes under in the first five. I'm probably going to like under in this game, but can't go under in every game, can I? I could. I mean, what can you say? Look, unders so far have been pretty strong right now in the major leagues here so far. Uh, so far this season, it's been pretty solid here. All right, let me move on here right now. Okay, Angels and the Cubs. I think we did get opening total here actually in this one. I did see a couple of outlaw totals offshore. Let me put it up here anyway. You could tell when you look at a total here. You know, I don't know what the bookmakers are nervous about. We're looking at a 6.5 here, so you can figure out what's going on in this one. I think it's 6.5 flat right now. Let me see here actually. It's even shaded to the under. Look at this right now with Kikuchi and it is Kikuchi and Boyd. So I don't know if it's the best. The overall that might be just showing exactly what is going on actually in this game with this total as it is. So the wind is blowing in from left field 15 to 16 miles an hour. Temperatures here in the low 40s for sure. A nice day, sunny day, keeping the clouds away. And Boyd here though $1.60. The Angels won it yesterday to improve to 3-3. And the Angels have had okay starts before, but Kikuchi 4.15 ERA in that first start, 2.0 WHIP, 3 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits allowed. For the Cubs here, for Boyd, did not look great in that first outing. 7 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, but 6 hits and 6 runs allowed in that one. So the Cubs here come in 2-3, Angels 3-3. Angels 2-4 to the under so far this season. The Cubs are 2-3 to the under so far this season. Let's see what you guys think here of this one. When the Cubs take on the Angels here, interleague action here for Wednesday, and for the Cubs here, Boyd definitely has some of these Angels batters under his wraps in the past. I think he's got a little bit of an advantage there, but the Angels bullpen has been decent. It's just that the lineup has been, I don't want to say inconsistent because I don't know what we're really expecting from them, but Trout has looked strong. Shannon has looked as good as well, but the rest of the lineup leaves something to be desired. Darno's been good, and Joe Adell's been okay, but Neto, not so great. Soler, no good. Mancada, not great so far for these Angels here. Meanwhile, for the Cubs, the averages aren't necessarily there other than PCA. They are, consistent. Briggs already has a couple of home runs. Ian Happ has 3 home runs as well so far this season, but let's see how you have it here with the Cubs and the Angels. Yeah, it's pretty pricey there with $1.60 here in this one. And, the score was 2-0 yesterday. The wind was totally blowing in just like it is here. And you got 2 left-handers going. So, you got the right-handed bats. They're going to be swinging right into that left field, right where the wind is coming in on them. And you know what's going to happen here. Come on. This is going to be under City in this one. I can't do it. I mean, we did it yesterday. We're doing it again. We got to go up. You got to go under. You just got to go under in this one. That was my Higgs. You out there? That was my Higgs. You just got to go under. We did yesterday. We're going to do so again today. I'm going under in this one. We'll see what the chat has to say, though. Timmy says, Boyd minus 60 here. I mean, what can you do, right? Cal Dog says that's enough for him. He'll take the Angels. Timmy, those on the over here. Cubs for LALB. Fishden says it's bad weather. It's bad weather. Yeah, cold and windy, but no, I don't think any precipitation expected here. It's supposed to come in a little bit. I mean, I don't know if it's rain coming in. It's supposed the clouds are coming in at the end of the game. I didn't look any further than that. Didn't figure I'd need to. And Jimmy says these guys are just getting shelled here so far. Jermaine, hello. And LALB talking a little soccer there in the chat. Tony asked me yesterday there on the show. I knew exactly what he said, the big story, because as soon as I got on the air, I was kind of like, always try to have some fun with Tony and find some stories to talk about in sports or whatever. And I didn't know if I'd get to it, but I knew Italy. I just watched the game. Italy not making the World Cup here, basically for 3 straight World Cups. They only won the World Cup 20 years ago, and now it's been 12 straight years, basically, the 3 World Cups. Italy doesn't even make it. But it's tough in Europe. All right, let me keep it going here right now on Night Moves. We're going to go next up to... Oh, boy. Here we go with the Tigers on the road here with Tariq Skubal. $1.60. 8 under 20. Look who's pitching. Zach Gallen here. And you got the Tigers here coming in just 2-3 so far. They've lost 3 in a row, and Arizona's beat them 2 straight nights. Arizona here also 2-3, but they've gotten the win here 9-6, 7-5. Pitching has been rough here for Detroit, but at least they've got Tariq Skubal in here. This is why you have a stopper at this point. Detroit's going to have to be deeper in the starting pitching. Both these guys were excellent in their first starts. Skubal was, of course, in that opener. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 runs, none earned there. But Gallen, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs there. He's got a 9 ERA. So I was just kidding, of course, trying to have some fun with our man, Zach Gallen. But yeah, not so much so far with the 9 ERA. And you're going up against the Tigers team that, going to want to get a win, right? Tigers are 1-0 as a favorite. You know who was pitching in that one. Meanwhile, Arizona 2-0 at home. 0-3 as an underdog so far as part of that 2-3 record here coming in. But let's see the way you guys maybe would play this one with Detroit and Arizona here on Wednesday. And I want to get from you in the chat. We're still in the afternoon action here. This one's actually at 3:40 Eastern and 12:40 Pacific time with these two. Okay, let me look into this one here a little bit deeper, though, actually. Want to look at maybe what these lineups have been up to so far. For Detroit here, Colt Keith been really terrific so far, and McGonigal, this top of the lineup, has been very good. The rest of the lineup, not so much. Dingler, though, still producing. For Arizona here, steady, but nothing overwhelming. Gabe Moreno has been interesting so far. He's been hitting. Barossa also, but here at the top with Kettle Marte and Carroll so far, serviceable here it seems like. This one seems like starting pitching driven and a little bit of a contrast in the bullpen. Both are kind of pointing the same direction. Skubal's a hot pitcher right now against this lineup. And, well, Zach Gallen's actually had some struggles against some of these guys. So may have to go with Skubal to get it done. It is $1.60 right now. Arizona, look, this price is pretty strong there with a favorite, but got to have a nobody has any respect for Gallen. I know that. Skubal's dominance is real, no doubt. Arizona bullpen 8.16 so far. Detroit bullpen 3.21. So I think it all is kind of pieced together here for Detroit a little bit at $1.60. Arizona's lineup should be more explosive top to bottom, but it just hasn't quite been that way so far. Detroit still inconsistent, generating runs against quality pitching, but are we really putting Gallen here in that category? In early innings, Skubal's going to control this game. It's going to be low scoring. Arizona may start to adjust, and in the late innings, we may get a bit of a variance spike with both bullpens kind of vulnerable right now. It is 8 under 20, so it does kind of show that maybe the runs are still going to come here in this one. So, all right, let's see what you got here. Diamondbacks, better offense. I think better offense. Let me see how I'm rating them right now. I don't want to get carried away if I've got them a little bit lower here. Okay, there we go. I've got Arizona right now, basically a top inside the top 10, probably top 7. I mean, it's going to be tough against Skubal, no doubt about it. And meanwhile, for Detroit, I've got them, not in the bottom 10, out just inside that, though, probably top 20, if you want to call it that way here. So Gleber, good numbers here. Torkelson could have a good one. Dingler also here, pretty good. Torres and Dingler could be shaping up here for an okay outing in this one. So, all right, I got to stop dilly-dallying around here with these two. I'm actually going to take the over in this one with Detroit and Arizona. Give me the over here. Skubal should be awesome, but I'm worried after that what we'll see. We could end up still getting runs. Arizona's 4-1 to the over so far, 2-0 to the over at home. Detroit 3-2 to the over, 1-2 to the over as a favorite. I'm going to take the over in this one, even with Skubal in there. All right, here we go. Tigers here for Cal Dog. Tigers team total over for Timmy. LALB, maybe it's this game. Nerfian first 5 under. Fishden said he's on the over in this one as well. How about that? And Timmy says that Skubal here, 7 strikeouts. Okay, I'm on the over. I'm on 1 over at least. In a game with Skubal of all things. Okay, another day game here, 4:10 Eastern, 1:10 Pacific. The Giants riding a 2-game winning streak over the Padres here. Beat them 9-3 yesterday. Really got to them and clubbed them. Padres here just 1-4 so far. Herman Marquez gave up a home run to start the game, and it was just bad news from the outset. The Padres not looking great so far. I said, look, I've got my doubts. I don't mind the Padres. I don't mind their lineup. I'm worried about their manager here, but it takes more than just a manager. It takes these players too, and right now the top of the lineup not doing anything for the Padres here. Cronenworth, Tatis, Machado, Merrill, all hitting round 215 or so, it seems like. Probably could flip the lineup because you got Bogarts doing okay. Laureano is the only guy really smoking it here right now. Castellanos, look, the Padres are trying it with him right now, but I don't know if it's going to work out with him in San Diego. For San Francisco, their lineup hasn't really produced anything either. In fact, they've been downright bad, but Adames did get the big home run there yesterday. They had not been hitting any home runs there really to start the season here. But you got Adrian Hauser here going for the Giants in this one, and for the Padres, Nick Pivetta. Pivetta got shelled in that first game. 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 18 ERA, 3.33 whip. Not good here. So let's see, though, what you've got in this one. When the Padres host the Giants here on Getaway Day. Still, you got to think here with these lineups just not producing. I would probably still try to get in on an under here. The Giants are 1-3-1 to the under. 0-3-1 to the under as an underdog. The Padres are 2-3, but they're 0-3 to the under as a favorite, and they are a favorite here, of course, in this one. Let's see, though, what you think here. I'm going to go to the chat, see what you've got with the Padres and the Giants. The Padres bullpen's been okay so far, 3.0 ERA. San Francisco's pen has been solid, but I don't know if they're quite as deep as the Padres bullpen. Maybe a slight edge in lineup consistency right now for the Giants coming in, but I have a feeling I'm going to be on the under here. Let's see what you got. Okay, it's going to be LALB, I think, on the under. AOD's got some Mexican food just came in via Uber Eats or something here. Timmy says Pavetta and the Padres in this one as a favorite. Cal Dog says over Padres bats. Remember to hit. Yeah, right. LALB first 5 under. And Timmy says just going to fade Hauser here. Yeah, I mean, anybody should be able to get to Hauser here, but man, I'm just going to take the under here in this one. Give me the under with the Giants and the Padres. Come on, Padres. Jeez. 1-4 in desperate need of a victory here. All right, we are into the action here. Still a day game here, 4:10 Eastern, 10:10 Pacific, Getaway Day. Yankees here with Cam Schlittler. He was good in that first game, wasn't he? George Kirby also strong here, so good pitching once again. Schlittler was incredible. 5 1/3 innings, just 1 hit, no earned runs, 8 punch outs for Schlittler. Pause before you say it every time. For Schlittler in that one. For Kirby, very effective. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts in his debut performance as well. We're going to get a pitcher's duel here for sure. The Yankees were able to beat the Mariners 5-0 with a shutout. The pitching has been incredible for New York so far this season, allowing just 3 runs in 5 games. That was the 3rd shutout they've posted in 5 games so far. And you got Schlittler coming in here. Kirby's good too, man. This is a prime pitcher's duel, I'm afraid. Yankees are 4-1. This is the first time they've been an underdog so far. Mariners 3-3. Yankees are 4-1 to the under here so far. Seattle 3-1 to the over as a favorite so far this season. So see what you think here with the Yankees and the Mariners coming in to this one. I want to hear from you in the chat. Seattle's bullpen's been very good, 2.66 ERA and a strong whip so far. So not only are you going to get a good outing here from Kirby, they'll move right into a good bullpen. The Yankees offense has been volatile despite their record, I'd say, so far. You look at these Yankee bats here, Grisham, in the mid-150s, Judge hitting under 200, Bellinger and Rice are in the mid-250s here. Stanton's been good, no doubt about it. He's produced, he's scored. Does he lead the league in runs scored so far, Giancarlo Stanton? The Jazz has been not good, and Ryan McMahon not so good either here. And Caballero has been okay for Seattle so far. Brendan Donovan's been great, but Cal Raleigh Swing and miss for Raleigh. Of course, 11 Ks already this season. J-Rod, awful, dreadful so far in the 050 range right now. Arozarena, nearly 300. Naylor's looking for a hit. Naylor's looking for a hit. Luke Rayleigh's been okay so far. So let's see what you got, though, in this one. This one feels, dare I take another under and incur everyone's wrath in the chat? Does anybody even care? Let's go to the chat pros. Timmy says, dang under, I think. Yankees first five for Cal Dog. LALB, Yankees money line. Andrew must have had Freed there. Up one. Money is here. Give me the under in this one. I just got to take another under, gang. Under in the Yankees and the Mariners here tonight. All right, the Twins are on the road taking on the Royals, and we're here in late afternoon. This is a night game, 6:40 Eastern, or 7:40 Eastern, 6:40 local, 4:40 Pacific time, with the Twins coming in here 1-3. The Royals are 2-2. Royals have won them both so far in this series, or won the first game of the series, 3-1. This is game 2 actually of the series here, a night game. So let's see what you got here, though, with Cameron going up against Ryan here. Cameron, I think, making his debut. And Ryan, so far, looked pretty good in that first start. 5 1/3 innings, just one hit, 7 strikeouts, and a strong performance for Ryan coming in. Going against Noah Cameron, a left-hander here. For the Twins and Ryan, he's been solid, but Kansas City's offense starting to heat up here a little bit with Garcia, Witt. Those guys are looking pretty good. Kyle Isbell as well. They started slow. They're still not great statistically, but again, they are trending up. It feels like a little bit right now. Both bullpens are kind of mid-tier. We could see some late scoring with these teams, and yeah, this total's up there. This one actually could be close to the number. I still think the number is a little bit too high here in this one, but see what you got here. The Twins have been obviously not great so far, just 1-3. Ryan is the better pitcher here. We'll see what we get from Cameron in this one, but let's go to the chat here. Nothing from the chat in this one. So, no, LALB does like the under here. Yeah, I probably do too, but just, like I said, we haven't seen Cameron yet, but so far, Kansas City 0-4 to the under so far this season. Minnesota 1-3 to the under. So, gosh, it's hard to just keep going to the well right now, but hey, I just pick sides and totals on these games, and Minnesota, they should be okay here with Ryan in there, but once we get to the bullpen, what are we going to get? I'm going to go under again in this one, Minnesota and Kansas City. Man, I'm going to be on the under in the salami tomorrow. Cameron was bad in spring training, says Fish Den. And Timmy says, watch out. You might have some weather conditions here tonight in Kansas City that could affect things here. Let's see what the weather's like here. Terrible conditions in this one. Clearly a big chance of rain here, well over 50%. There's a 35% this game gets canceled. So rain throughout the day. No rest for the weary. No rest for the rain here. It's going to be raining. Cal Dog likes Kansas City. But, no doubt this is going to be the story of this one, I'm sure. Will be the weather here. But I'll take the under. And finally, out west, the Guardians are taking on the Dodgers here. Cleveland coming in 3-3. The Dodgers are 4-1. Dodgers won again yesterday in this one by the score of 4-1. Cleveland took the first one, but game 3 here with Yamamoto for the Dodgers coming in with an ERA of 3, went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits and 2 runs in his debut with 6 strikeouts. For Cleveland, meanwhile, Gavin Williams, a 5.4 ERA, 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, but 6 walks for Gavin Williams in his season debut. That's not great. But let's see what you have here. I know what I'm doing, but man, so far Yamamoto does have some advantages here over this lineup for sure. Cleveland's lineup has success versus pitchers in this realm, strong pitchers, but kind of a small sample so far. Dodgers 1.62 ERA looking good. Obvious mismatch here, it feels like, even with the Dodgers here right now. I want to give credit to Cleveland and a few of these guys in the lineup, but they're not really hitting that well. DeLauder's been a huge story so far, but really the experts don't really regard him as someone who can sustain this right now, given his history of injuries. And Stevie Ray Kwan's been okay so far, hitting over 300, but the rest of the lineup, not so much. Dodgers, meanwhile, yes, having trouble at the plate here right now. Nobody's really getting it together, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Dodgers on the run line here in this one. Give me LA. I got a pretty square card here. Well, except for those unders, I guess. Not that square, but let's hear from you in the chat in this one with the Dodgers taking on Cleveland. Yamamoto 7+ Ks for LALB. Timmy likes the over here. Fishton says no value with the Dodgers. I got to agree with that, but I'm going to take him in this one. That's my free play on a YouTube show. Cal Dog, though, on the Guardians here. Timmy says just live bet this one. That's it for Major League Baseball. Should be a good card here, day card. Got to like that. All right, we've got action in the NBA tonight, and a busy card for sure with 9 games. We're going to preview 8 of them. The game that has not made the cut here tonight is the Pacers and the Bulls. Let's get to it. Philadelphia 76ers at the Washington Wizards. NBA action here for Wednesday night, 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. Washington, losers of 3 straight to Golden State, Portland, and the Lakers. Failed to cover in 2 of the 3. Philadelphia, meanwhile, coming in off of a loss at Miami, 119-109. That snapped a 2-game skid. Still, Philadelphia 23-13 on the road against the spread, 24-16 against the spread as a favorite. Washington just 30-40 against the spread as an underdog this season coming in. Let's see what you think here in this one as we get things started with the NBA and a game from the Tankathon here. But still, nonetheless, you got Philly talking about the standings here currently in the Eastern Conference. Philly in 7th place. Still could catch the Raptors or the Hawks above them for 6th or 5th, holding on to a 1-game lead over the Magic for the 7th spot. Remember, 7 and 8, you want to be in there for sure. But for the Sixers here, Philadelphia in a pretty good trend run here right now. 4-2 against the spread their last 6. 4-1 against the spread against the Wizards in their last 5. Washington is not competitive here. They're mailing it in. They've lost 19 of their last 20 games. They've lost 8 straight games at home. The number is massive, but the mismatch, the inflation here, it still doesn't matter. The total might be inflated off of the Wizards, uh, poor pace, and often they get involved in these high totals, but it's Wizards that can't live up to their end of the bargain. But Phillies trended under in 6 of their last 9, and they could control the tempo once they get ahead here, and not worry about what the Wizards are doing and just kind of go through the motions, it feels like a little bit. Uh, Washington is 39 and 31 to the over as an underdog, and 42 and 33 to the over overall. Philly is 23 and 17 to the over as a favorite here. Let's see what you have in the chat in this one. I'm just going to the tankathon in this one. Give me the Sixers to blow out the Wizards here tonight. Go to the chat here as we get ready to start it on the basketball. And thank you, LALB. Really appreciate you there. You might have already left, but okay, Wizard. Let's see, Cal Dog's on the under here. Timmy also says 240. Give him the under. Let's see here. Andrew K is here, and he says the tank commander fished in also. A lot of under support here. And Timmy says, look, this thing's moved up from 237 to 240 here. And usually a move like that on the overnight, you really do got to respect it. And, maybe the Sixers will put up a big number. I don't know. But I'll go ahead and lay it with the Sixers here. All right, Hawks and Magic right now. The Hawks have won a couple in a row again, and just in time, right, talking about what's going on in the Eastern Conference. Hawks in 5th, half a game ahead of the Raptors, so it's a real battle right there with those two teams. And, 5th place would be a pretty nice position. They're not going any higher, that's for sure. Not for sure, but they're not going any higher than this. Atlanta here, though, right now, coming in with a couple of wins, as I said, in a row here. They beat Sacramento. They beat Boston in revenge, right, for that win a couple days earlier against them there. Atlanta, 21 and 16 to the over on the road. Orlando, 18 and 21 against the spread at home, but 15 and 14 against the spread as a dog. But more so, I think, in the matchup here when you have Atlanta, a slight road favorite. They've been, like I said, a pretty decent cover. Atlanta is one of the strongest trend teams going right now. 14 and 4 against the spread, 16 and 2 straight up overall. Orlando's sliding, no doubt, 2 and 7 straight up in their last 9. This matchup has been consistently over, though, when these two teams have met. Last 2 games here this season, it was 124 to 112, an over there also, 127 to 112. Both those games were in Atlanta. The first game in Orlando was an under. This one's in Orlando, obviously, as well, coming in. So let's see, though, what you think with these two. Orlando 22 and 17 to the over at home. Atlanta 21 and 16 to the over on the road. I'm going over in this one. I think Atlanta's offensive efficiency right now and maybe a little bit of a pace going to drive this one over. Give me the over here with Atlanta and Orlando on Wednesday night. We'll go to the chat. Okay, it's going to be if Franz Wagner is coming back, that's going to be good enough for Fishden here. Boy, they sure need Wagner. This one's actually on the move right now. Let me see what I've got on screen here. 232. We're seeing this one go up right now to 233. I know I just said I'm on the over here. Let me see. Timmy says under. It's moved down a smidge. Okay, I got it a little backwards then. You're right there. I will say this, Timmy. Okay, so yes, the original move went down. It is starting to move back up just a little bit right now. Cal Dog says a magic of doing a disappearing act. Yeah, look, they're only a half a game ahead of the Heat for eighth place. Like I said, they are going backwards. They did win last game, though. Give them credit. They beat Phoenix at home last night. They're on the back to back. I liked Phoenix in that one. Atlanta's rested here, actually. And, Atlanta's been a good cover. And in this series, they won the last two. Okay. I'm going to go with the over here. All right, Celtics and Heat in this one. The Celtics come in here off of a loss. They've won 3 of 4 wins over OKC, Atlanta, and Charlotte, but they lost to Miami. To Atlanta. Miami, meanwhile, comes in off of a win over the Sixers to snap a 2-game losing streak. The Heat right now are in ninth place, a half a game back of the Magic. Very important game for them. They're, underdogs here to Boston. Boston's not, necessarily a terrific cover in the last few games, but yeah, they're still 24-14 against the spread on the road. But Miami, 22-16 against the spread at home here. Also, Boston still 12-26 to the under on the road, 18-35 to the under as a favorite. Miami does trend over, no doubt about it, but you've got Boston here. They are 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games against the Miami Heat. They've won 9 of the last 10 meetings as well. Miami just 2-7 straight up in their last 9. Boston's gone under in 5 of their last 6. Miami just struggles offensively with Boston. Mostly Boston's won 3 straight meetings here this season right now. They won 98-96 back in early February. They didn't cover 5.5 in that one at home. Miami lost 119-114 January 15th, and Boston won 129-116 back in mid-December. So look for Boston here. They're pretty much locked into the number 2 spot. I don't think the Knicks are going to catch them here over the final 7 games. They're not going to catch the Pistons, who clinched the division title, and they're going to finish on top of the Eastern Conference. Maybe the matchup does favor Boston. The Heat needs it. The Heat wants it. They don't need it. They're in the playoffs. Like I said, you want to get to 7th or 8th place here. I'm going to take the under in this one. I got to take the under the way Boston rolls. Give me the under here with this one. In the chat here, it's Celtics second quarter for AOD. Celtics first half for Cal Dog. Timmy says, you got the Celtics here. They're finally healthy. And, it's going to be great for their long-term prospectus here in the postseason. Jason Tatum, probable in this one. Harper, questionable. Vucevic is still out. Normie Powell is out for Miami, and that's been a factor. Andrew Wiggins also questionable here. So I'm going to take the under in this one. Fishden's going also with the under. Says Boston can slow the game down. All right, next up. Milwaukee Bucks are taking on the Houston Rockets here, NBA action for Wednesday. And, we just saw Houston roll to their 3rd straight victory there last night, 111-94 over the Knicks. Hey, I was on the Knicks. I was on the Rockets in that one. Rockets have looked pretty good here of late. Seems like they're surging in a positive direction. Now we're in the tankathon here. Rockets by 17. Now, the Rockets are not a great cover for sure. 14 and 22 against the spread at home, 26 and 39 against the spread as a favorite. But Milwaukee, 15 and 22 against the spread on the road. They come in here off of a win over Dallas last night, 123 to 99. Now they're back. They're traveling on the road, not far to Houston, but still on the road here in this one. And not much maybe from the chat here, but could Milwaukee possibly hang in this game, getting all these points? I mean, look, they're not really showing much life, but Houston's won 5 of 7. Milwaukee 1 and 4 straight up, 6 and 12 ATS in their last 18. Big spread here, no doubt about it. So can't get too confident in this one, but you got to think the Rockets can maybe take advantage here. Yes, they are on the back-to-back as well, following the win yesterday, so that may make it a little bit difficult to get all the way there with the money. Total maybe lean under here with this matchup. In fact, that might be the best play. I mean, come on. Houston's 12 and 24 to the under at home, and Milwaukee's 12 and 25 to the under on the road. I think you got to go under here. 4 of the last 6 have gone under. Give me another under here with the Bucks and the Rockets on Wednesday night. I'll go with the under for sure. Chat here says, call the hotline, hotline, hotline. Calling on the hotline for your love. Timmy Two Shoes on the under here. And I think he's saying, yeah, it will be hard to even get to 50 in the first half here. I called the gambling hotline there last night. Make my joke there. I called the hotline there last night, and they gave me the Knicks. All right. I wonder maybe I could be a gambling counselor here if I don't make it with my with Tony's over here. Okay, here we go. We did skip the Pacers and the Bulls tonight, like I said. Next up, Kings and Raptors. Doesn't get much better, but the Raptors are in the playoffs, so we're going to talk Raptors basketball here. They are in 6th place currently, still looking to move up to 5th. Holding off the Sixers by a game so far. The Kings have lost 4 in a row once again. Not looking too great, but they did cover a couple of double-digit spreads against Atlanta and Orlando. This is a 5th straight road game here for Sacramento. Feels like it's going to be a pretty tough game, actually, going up against this Toronto team that's 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. Sacramento 15 and 23 against the spread on the road. 27 and 24 against the spread as a dog here. So not a great matchup, but we're in the tankathon here. I think Toronto, look, I've adjusted my numbers for the tankathon. I got Toronto here by 16 or so, but I don't know if that's the best pick here. I'm going to go under as my pick in this one I'm a 3rd straight under here on the show. How about that? But Toronto, 15 and 28 to the under as a favorite, 15 and 22 to the under at home. So I think I just prefer the under in this game, and whether or not they can get a blowout, I don't know. But Toronto 7-3 against the spread in their last 10, 5-0 against the spread last 5 at home. Sacramento's lost 6 of 7. We know the Kings' defense is a total liability out there right now. And this matchup, though, does consistently produce points. They've gone over in the last 2 meetings here, including the only other meeting this season, which was 122 to 109. It did go over in that one at 231, but I'm going to go under tonight. Give me the under in this one with the Kings and the Raptors. All right, let's see what you got here. And Raps should cover this, says Timmy. That's it from you guys in that one. I'm just I'm taking the under there with the Kings and the Raptors uh, in that one. Okay. Next up, the Knicks are taking on the Grizzlies here. NBA action for Wednesday. You've got the Knicks here favored by 14 and a half. We're in the tankathon here, but the Knicks have lost three in a row and haven't looked that good against Charlotte, OKC, and Houston, all on the road. They're on the back-to-back here. Memphis, meanwhile, comes in rested. They did just get blown out by Phoenix, 131 to 105. They're not looking great. They did beat Chicago in an upset at home in the prior game, but still just 23 and 31 to against the spreads and underdog are the Memphis Grizzlies here. Knicks, though, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall coming into this one. So let's weigh it out here and see. The Knicks are, like I said, struggling ATS right now, 1-5 ATS in their last six. Memphis is awful straight up, but they are capable of staying within some numbers here. I kind of skeptical a little bit on the Knicks in this game, despite the fact that Memphis has been a total tankathon, mostly probably because of the fact that the Knicks come in here having played and lost yesterday. No big deal. I mean, they're not going backwards or anything, but they're trying to hold off the Cavs by one game here for that 3 spot. It should be important for them, but they really didn't look that good yesterday. So let's see what you have. I mean, the Grizzlies, they're not going to make it here. They're done, but could they play competitively enough here in this game? Man, I kind of want to take the Grizzlies here. Let's see what you got in this one. If anything, I'd probably just end up on the under again. But Knicks are 17 and 23 to the under on the road, but Memphis is 21 and 16 to the over at home. Let's go to the chat. This one's tougher for me here. Knicks first quarter for AOD thinks they'll be winning in the range of 38 to 17 there. And also, Timmy says under. No reason these guys go over. Want to say hello to Tom Leach in the chat. He's bringing us some KBO tonight. Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that. Says LG Twins on the run line. Lodi Giants money line. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Sorry about that. Really appreciate that. Nice touch there, Tom. That only makes that only gives me a second to try to delay my pick here with the Knicks and the Grizzlies, I guess, huh? I'm going to try the Grizzlies here, plus 14.5. Knicks need the win. They should be much, much better than the Grizzlies right now. I'm going to try the Grizzlies here, even in the tankathon. And good. Yeah, Timmy, I'm probably going to be on the under again. I might be under in all these games except for that Magic and Hawks game, but all right, here's the Nuggets taking on the Jazz in this one. We're in the tankathon with these two, so let's see how that goes. For the Nugs here, they come in here 17 and a half point favorites. So look, the Nuggets are going one way and the Jazz are going the other. They've been doing that all season, but even more so right now. Got to give a lot of credit here to the Nuggets, putting together a big-time winning streak here at the end of the season, playing well. They've got a little something to play for as well right now. They've won 6 straight games here. Denver currently in 4th place, 2 games behind the Lakers. They're not done yet. There are a game and a half ahead of the Timberwolves. Probably will come in 4th, but they're still trying. They've won 6 straight. Utah, meanwhile, going the opposite direction as if they hadn't already. They've lost 6 straight, losing 5 of their last 6 at home. Denver's covered 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams coming in. And Total here is massive, but both teams trend heavy to the over right now. Denver over in 4 of 5, Utah over in 5 of 6. This is kind of a pace and efficiency mismatch that I think can easily clear 250 points tonight. I've got to go over here. It feels like a premium, but I've just got to do it. Uh, Nuggets 28 and 11 to the over on the road. Utah 27 and 12 to the over at home. Utah 45 and 30 to the over overall. These two teams are combined 91 and 59 to the over. And the last meeting just a few days ago was 135 to 129. That went over 247. The meeting back in February was 128 to 125. These are all Denver wins, by the way. The game in December was 135 to 122. So they've all gone over. I got to go over here in this one. Even I've got to go over in this one. Nuggets by $1 million in the second quarter. Nuggets team total over for Timmy. Now I got to go over in that one. Give me the over. You know me and my overs. Okay, Spurs here in the Tankathon. They're at the Warriors tonight. Spurs are favored here by 13, or has it gone down a little bit? Thought I saw it go down, and now 13, even 13 and a half here right now. So maybe there is a little bit of run on the bank here with the Spurs, and the Spurs are on a winning streak too. San Antonio's only won 9 in a row right now, 6 straight on the road. They are 4 and 10 in the last 14 against the Warriors, but not your Suns Warriors or something like that. Actually, the Warriors have won 3 of 4 here. Really, kind of sneaky. They did get blown out by Denver. That's one thing, and not only that, they beat Washington, Brooklyn, and Dallas. So they needed it. Look, the Warriors are in 10th place, but they're right now 1.5 behind the Blazers, 3 back of the Clippers. That's going to be tough. Right now, it feels like the Warriors are trying to challenge only for 9th place. Remember, you don't want to be in 10th. 10th place has gone 1-9 when it comes to making the field in the play-in. Only Miami last year went from a 10 seed to making the 8-team field. So it's tough, and that's what the position the Warriors are in right now. So let's see how you have it, though, with the Spurs. Big favorite here in the Tankathon. Or no, I'm sorry. Not the Tankathon. Spurs are hot here, of course. Golden State, I'm not saying they're collapsing, but they just had an easy schedule here of late. They're still 11 and 17. ATS is a dog, 15 and 21 against the spread at home. San Antonio, 23 and 16 against the spread on the road. I think the total's got to lean under a little bit here. The Spurs trend under in 4 of their last 6, and with a potential one-sided game, that could point to an under eventually. The Warriors are 22 and 13 to the over at home, however. And let's see, though, what you think here in this one. San Antonio and Golden State here on Wednesday night. And I'm going to make my call here in this one after I go to the chat with this matchup. Here we go. Timmy Chushu says Spurs team total over. He thinks they could score up to 120. I just got to take the under in this one with the Spurs and the Warriors. Give me the under here. That's it for the NBA. But we're not done. AOD loves San Antonio. I think what AOD wants is a Spurs and Pistons. I know he wants that, but Spurs, maybe he doesn't because San Antonio is good, but Spurs and Pistons there. Could it be? All right, let's go out to the college basketball crown tonight with Oklahoma taking on Colorado here in Las Vegas with this one. So look, a little bit interesting here for sure at the college basketball crown here tonight. Uh, Look, there's just some interesting things going with this game here for uh, Colorado here. Colorado has some issues coming in. Their roster is probably completely depleted here. Three of their top four scorers are gone. I believe they've hit the portal. Oklahoma closed the season on a heater here. Uh, the, they've covered seven straight. This number reflects a real big mismatch here. It's gone up like three whole points, but what we're looking at basically is a Colorado team that's kind of almost vacated the season. I don't mind, with like we've talked about some teams that opt not to play in these tournaments. Why not give your young players a chance here to get something going, right? And get their career started. Some of them haven't even been in there. Oklahoma did lose, obviously, its last game to Arkansas, 82-79. Colorado, meanwhile, lost to Oklahoma State in the conference tournament. Oklahoma, though, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Colorado is 7-8 against the spread as an underdog. Colorado 6-9 to the under as an underdog, and Oklahoma is 7-3-1 to the over as a favorite. Let's see what you've got here in the college basketball crown. 8-team tournament in Vegas for NIL money. And I'm ready to hear from you in the chat in this one in the college basketball crown. And let's see here. Could we see, let's see, anything here? Sooners will pound them here, says Timmy Two Shoes. You got to think Oklahoma should be able to rock in this one, right? Oklahoma 7-3 to the over as a favorite. I think mostly it could trend under here a little bit, but at this total at 166, could it be no defense? I'm going with the under in this one. Give me the under with Oklahoma and Colorado. OU for Cal Dog. And second nightcap here at the college basketball crown. Baylor favored by 3.5, total 148.5 here in this one. For Minnesota here. Look, I think this one lines up pretty good actually for Minnesota as in the underdog role. I think, look, they could have success inside and out. Baylor actually struggles to disrupt when an offense is looking good. I think it's kind of close to a coin flip, and taking the points is going to be worth it. Both teams are alternating wins and losses coming in. Baylor was ousted by ASU in the conference tournament. Minnesota got beat by Rutgers in the Big Ten tournament here. Baylor 12-4 to the over as a favorite. I've got to go over in this one with Baylor and Minnesota. Give me the over here on night moves. Minnesota is 8-11 to the under as an underdog, but I'm going to go with the over here in this one between Baylor and Minnesota. In the chat, we've got Minnesota money line for Cal Dog. Jimmy Choo Shoes loves team totals. He can't handle it. And Jimmy says short number here. Is there something possibly going on with the personnel in this game that's kind of making it a little bit lower scoring there? For Baylor here, just one short-term injury here. J.J. White, the guard, he's questionable. For Minnesota, nothing really that we didn't already have dealing with here all season long. All right, that's it for the college basketball crown. Timmy Choo Shoes. Timmy wants mini. We're going to hit the ice tonight for a 3-game card, and then it's going to be over here on Night Moves. But a nice little setup here right now with our 3 games. Let's take a look. The Canucks are on the road taking on the Colorado Avalanche in this one. The Avalanche are 445. No, that's not the game time, but that's the line here. Vancouver totally going backwards again here right now. I think Vancouver is going to end up with being the worst team in the league. There, I'm pretty sure that's the case here right now. But Colorado 108 points, and Vancouver has 50. Vancouver 0-6 straight up, 1-12 right now. Last 13 on the road. Colorado just 1-4 in their last 5 at home. A little bit of a red flag, but head-to-head series kind of leans under here. Vancouver's current form, however, is all I can do is classify it as a defensive collapse. Still, Vancouver 34-28 to the over is a favorite. Colorado 30-39 to the under here as a favorite. Let's see what you guys have though in this one. Between Vancouver and Colorado here tonight. In our 3-game NHL card, Lankinen and Blackwood is what I'm expecting here. And man, this price is crazy, isn't it? Bet Rivers opened Colorado minus 530 there. So see what you mean. This one's tough. Here, probably just take Colorado on the puck line. What are they, minus 200 or something? Oh, I wouldn't want to do that to you, but come on. Are they really going to lose? They're not going to have any problem with this game. Puck line is minus 1.5 at minus 175. I hate to do it to you, but I'm going to take Colorado on the puck line. Okay, it's all I can do. I'm going to do it on the free pick on the show here. Okay. Want to say hello to Richie Rich there. What do you say? Avs team total over for Timmy because he loves team totals. Cal Dog on the over. Richie Rich is going all in on Colorado. This is the one, man. Lankin is going to see pucks in his sleep. Hey, I want to say hello to Shaq. All right. Thank you, Shaq. Good to see you. Oh, man. Can the Padres just win a game here and show some life? Here's the thing, I've talked about, them hiring an inexperienced manager. Look, the personnel is pretty good, right? But not only that, this team's up for sale. I'm not saying that should bother the players at all, but I don't know. I'm not having a great feeling about the Padres right now, I guess. Makar, a goal there for Timmy. All right, I'm just on the Avalanche there. $1.75. I'm on YouTube taking up minutes in a data center somewhere with the obvious favorite. But Blues and Kings here. Let's move to a little bit more interesting action here, possibly. The Blues come in playing pretty well. They did lose last game, but were hot before that. They did lose to San Jose on the road a couple of nights ago. Kings here, meanwhile, continuing to struggle. They've totally blown it here. They're not going to make the playoffs probably because of this late string of losses here right now. They're still within striking distance of Nashville, just 1 point back. Win this game and they're ahead of Nashville. They've also, played one less game than Nashville. So should they win, pass up Nashville, technically, not technically, they'll be ahead of them, and maybe they can hold them off here. I don't know what it matters here once they get to the postseason. I mean, they're not going to do anything special here, it feels like, but got to get there first. For the Blues here, they've won 4 of their last 5. The Kings have lost 5 of 6. Both teams heavily skewed to the under right now, technically. Yeah, the Kings maybe long-term here, a little bit of over tendencies, but seems like right now mostly unders. Just St. Louis is 19-29 to the under as an underdog. It is 5.5 after all, but this is still a closely rated game. The momentum, I think, favors St. Louis here as an underdog. The Kings drop off and their consistent unders is going to be tough enough to win this game at $1.45 when you're looking at a tight, low-scoring game. Taking the hotter side usually has some value in doing those. Kings are, uh, uh, historically solid at home, but this year 10-17 at home right now. In fact, the Kings 18-25 is a favorite. St. Louis 24-24 is an underdog. So this is like a form over model type of play. It feels like in this one, I gotta take the Blues here on the road over the Kings. Give me St. Louis right now. Guess it shows I'm just down on my Kings here. All right, Blues to play a spoiler. There, yeah, look, no doubt about it. The Blues are not going anywhere. That's for sure. They still do have a chance. I mean, there's 9 games left. They are 4 points back. They'll be on 75 points. They could win the game. Come on now. Cal Dogs on the Blues. Could be 3-2. Could be overtime. And the Kings are really missing. It's been a big time failure here. This feels like the Blues spot, kind of, right? All right, one more here, and then the show's over. We're talking a good team here. It's tough to say, hey, I like the Kings, but I like Anaheim too, and they're in the same division. When you're a gambler, you can like who you want. But growing up, I liked the Kings. They were the team that I watched on TV. They were the only team that really back in the day, there wasn't a lot of national contracts. USA Network always had the NHL contract when I was a kid, but the Kings were always on with Bob Miller and Jim Fox there. And the Ducks, meanwhile, I started to like them because I was writing as a newspaper as a young man, and the Gulls originally were an independent team and then became the minor league team of the Ducks, and I would be the little beat writer guy going to those games. So definitely liked the Ducks, and the Gulls still are the feeder team of the Ducks. So Dostal in here, $1.15, 6.5 over 20. For Anaheim here, favored on the road, no doubt. The better team, first place here in the division. They're not clear yet. Edmonton's right there with that 4-game winning streak right now. They could still win the division. Anaheim here, though, clearly the better team. They're 6-1 in the last 7 versus San Jose, 4-1 in the last 5 on the road. Sharks are 2-6 in their last 8 overall. As far as the total is concerned, Anaheim 17-8 to the over as a favorite here, and yes, San Jose does trend under, but they're 32-31 to the over as a dog here. Feels a little light here. Anaheim clearly the better team. I'm gonna have to take them at $1.15. Look, San Jose could spring one on them here, and they could be this. San Jose's got 75 points too. It's a very important game for them. They could have 77 here and still be in position. So, but Anaheim, the better team, the better current form. It feels like a good matchup history against them. Road success a little bit here anyway of late, and I'll go ahead and take the Ducks in this one. It's going to do it here for night moves. Let me see any last chats here. Sharks for Cal Dog. And Timmy says going over there a little bit. Okay, what else? Let me see. Last 3 games have been circuses between these two. 5-4, 7-6 here so far this season. Wow. And let's see what else here. Any other comments in there? Tim says they're really missing Fiala. Yeah, good point there. He went out there in the Olympics. All right, that's it. Richie says 3-2 or 4-3 for any team in that one. Okay, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks over there. My best picks will be over there. Hopefully, gave you some winners here just now in all these sports. But again, you can check out the action over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages here on Wednesday. And don't forget, matinees. Get over there early with the day games tomorrow in Major League Baseball. Thank you to the 5 dozen watching here. Man, do I feel fortunate here to have you guys with me on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 53,000 subscriber juggernaut. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and we'll get ready for the weekend action here, including the Final Four on Saturday and the championship on Monday night. And other sports as well. We got some UFC action here at the Apex in Las Vegas this Saturday as well. So should be a pretty fun rest of the week here. Our little college basketball crown. So, all right, it's going to do it. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Great time, great show. And we're back tomorrow here with more Night Moves for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.